There's something oddly beautiful about how chilling and tense the atmosphere in the Silent Hill 2 remake can be, as well as just how varied those atmospheres can feel. It's more than just the level architecture, it's also brilliant sound design, visual imagery, expectation manipulation, and most of all, player imagination. Silent Hill 2 is less of a survival horror game and more of a psychological horror game. It's a bizarre experience that takes place in the depths of James' psyche, and what Bloober Team have done to bridge the gap between James and the player to maximize immersion is nothing short of a work of art. Let's start with the sound design. The sound of silence makes a return, with this variety of ambient noises, each one crafted to invoke a sense of loneliness or solitude. They magnify the emptiness of the area you're in, and early on, the soundscapes can seem pretty calm and relaxing, like the sounds of wind, the sounds of rain, machinery. Until, of course, you start to hear noises that aren't as relaxing, reminding you that this place isn't as empty as you thought it was. It's sound design like this that plays such an incredible part in transitioning the mood from relatively calming to tense and anxiety-inducing. I absolutely love these parts of the game. I don't fully realize that I've held my breath or that I have goosebumps until the soundscapes go back to those somewhat calming moments, and then only then do I realize, holy shit, I can catch my breath again. This is likely some of the best sound design I've heard in a horror game ever. There's also this neat thing that Silent Hill 2 does where you don't really subconsciously register that there's background music playing in the first place until you realize that there was background music playing in the first place. What the fuck? The visuals in this game are stunning. I love how you can go from these structured, abandoned environments that feel so empty to more claustrophobic, derelict hallways where it feels like something might pop out of the corner at any second. The presentation is top notch. It's such a miserable feeling game. It's broken, it's messed up, and the way the game introduces some of James' demons to you is so creepy. The first time you encounter Pyramid Head, he's just standing there while the static on your radio goes off uncontrollably, and there's this constant anxious build-up. Is he gonna do something? Is he just gonna keep standing there? What do you want, huh? What the fuck do you want? I especially love seeing these other side segments when James enters a sort of alternate psyche. The rooms are polar opposites of what you spent so long exploring, and there's always this moment of, oh my god, because you thought you mapped this entire place out and we're done with it. Well, you gotta do it again. But this time, the visuals and sounds are cranked up. It's almost like the game is torturing you by forcing you to go through with this new segment full of sheer terror, and I love it. Shout out to this fuck you prison area. This part gave no shits about how much it wanted to terrorize you. First of all, it's so dark, I can't see anything. And then the game decides to add to my anxiety by putting in these damn crawling noises and I can't see where they're coming from and what was that? The way this game manipulates expectations and toys with your mind is downright terrifying. You see some survival horror games will do this thing where they steadily ramp up the frights you're going to experience. Resident Evil 2 Remake, for example. You know, you start off with zombies, followed by lickers. Then there's like these dogs, and then, oh shit, it's Mr. fucking X.
Jesus Christ!
The game gets scarier with time, so like it goes weep until you encounter him, and then he's walking around the fucking place. So you stay at that level of fear and get scared from time to time, like but eventually it's less scarier in later parts of the game, so the fear goes back down, but not too much, because, you know, it's still scary. The Dead Space remake is like Resident Evil Village is like, oh, that's a hot vampire lick. Silent Hill 2 always feels like you're playing in constant fear. It just escalates to one point and then never really goes back down because it manages to stay frightening for so long. That heightened anxiety is because you're constantly trying to expect the unexpected. Let's take a look at the radio. You know that it's going to go off when there are monsters nearby, so it kind of helps you prepare for what's coming. And you're thinking, oh shit, that's not so bad, I guess I'll always be ready. But then you pick up the flashlight and Or let's go back to when you're introduced to Pyramid Head. This cutscene plays out and he disappears behind a door, so James goes and follows him to the other side version of the apartment. Now, I'm obviously going to assume this is some Mr. X, welcome to the family son, Lady D stalker moment, so I'm always playing with heightened senses. Every bump in a room, every noise a monster makes, every blood trail that leads off into a specific direction, I'm constantly telling myself, okay, any moment now, he'll start chasing me around. But that moment never comes. So when I think I can start to let my guard down and rely on the radio for monsters again, I'm now being jump scared by mannequin freaks hiding in the fucking rooms. This radio is useless! Pyramid Head is stopping me! Silent Hill 2 is creepy, unsettling, anxiety-inducing, but also profound, and made sure to leave an impression on me after I finished it. I don't consider myself someone who scares easy. In fact, my general rule of thumb for survival horror games is, if I have a weapon in my hand, I feel safer. If I do not have a weapon, or if a monster can eat my bullets like they're nothing, then I'm boned. Silent Hill took this rule, obeyed it, bent it to its will, and then told me to go fuck myself in that one part in Toluca prison where I was in pitch darkness, but I kept hearing something in there with me. Hello? No. Fucking hell, James. Couldn't you have gone to a therapist instead?
Hadouken!